The front door is open because it feels like October, finally. So you're gonna hear lots of chickadees singing the song of their people. I apologize in advance. Hi friends, welcome back to our channel. If you're new here, I'm Hannah and I live tiny with our family of 8 and our shed to homestead conversion. And you may have guessed by the title of today's video, I want to talk about being high achieving moms. And I'm fully aware that that's probably going to trigger a good corner of the internet, but I'm going to tell you right now, I am beyond sick of relatable, frankly negative content about motherhood that basically wants to squash anyone who wants to excel in this calling. And it is a calling, it is a chosen career, it is a legitimate profession because it is something that we are called to dedicate ourselves to if we want to do it well. It's not just a side gig. I've always been a high achiever. That's just something I've always been. I've wanted to be that straight A student. Whatever I've ever done or pursued, I want to give it my absolute all. And to me, that's the only way to live my life without feeling intense regret afterward. I don't like looking back and thinking, oh, I really should have tried harder. And when it comes to this role of motherhood, I feel like there's really no bigger responsibility that's ever been placed on me than to be incredibly intentional with my children. I think, like, just as a rule of thumb, everyone should probably stop consuming the relatable content that makes motherhood look, frankly, just straight up miserable. We have to be so intentional with guarding our thoughts and our minds. And if we're consuming anything that's going to start making us dwell on the negative or think over and over, I hate this, I never get to do this, my life is hard, this and this and this, we're going to stay in a constant spiral of negativity. And this negative parade will just keep marching across your brain until it has created deep negative neural grooves that are very, very hard to override, and you don't want to do that to yourself. Because motherhood it's not just about like staying at home, keeping the house in maintenance mode, and then just surviving being around your children. This role, if we're going to do it well, calls for a lot of mastery. Mastery in not just homemaking and keeping things in maintenance mode, but in management and leadership and emotional intelligence for us and for teaching it to our children. It's about spiritual growth, not just for us, but also for our children. It's actually a really, really large role that we need to take very seriously. And I think it's important to surround ourselves with things that inspire us and encourage us to continue to grow and to keep doing more, not to be okay with mediocrity. Yeah, I said it. It's very important to me that I consume aspirational content. I want to watch moms who are doing a better job than I. And I want to think, I want to be just like her. I want to watch moms who are better at homeschooling, better at baking, better at organizing their homes, all the things. And I do aspire to be like them because part of this job is continuing to grow and to better myself. Not just for my self-worth, but also for the benefit of my family. And if we're comparing motherhood to other professions, I mean, think about it. If you are in a career, you're going to look at those who are doing better than you are and try to, I don't want to say steal, but you do kind of mimic or learn from their rhythms, their systems, what's working for them, and put your own positive spin on it. And you can do the same thing when you're watching aspirational mothers, like, wow, she does a great job of getting dressed every day. I'm gonna do more in that area. Or, wow, she is really good at coming up with new and exciting healthy meals. That's a new goal for me. Or, wow, she's working so hard to be patient with her children. I know that the Father's calling me to that as well. These are good things. These are good thoughts. It's not bad to think, this woman's doing really well and I want to as well. I'm going to take what she's putting out there as motivation to do better myself. That's a good thing. The world and a good corner of the internet is going to try to tell you, oh, they're just trying to put you down. They're trying to make you feel bad. And you know, that's honestly that's a personal filter. You can look at anything and choose to have a negative or positive filter over it. You can look at content and some of it is a little a little fantastic. It might not always be that like that all the time. That's not always the whole picture. You can take a piece of inspirational content and apply it to something you want to improve upon in your life, not to an unhealthy degree. You want your goals to be realistic and set realistic expectations for yourself. But it's good to be inspired. That's part of the human condition, is to see things that we consider to be inspirational and to work harder to make that more of our reality. That's a good thing. And it doesn't have to be just on social media. It can be women you have in your life. Start looking at the women around you and think, what could this person in my life teach me that can benefit me as a growing and thriving human being in the profession of motherhood? So in the interest of being a high-achieving professional mom, it can help to think of it as building a career path. How do you build a career path? You have action steps, you have goals, and how you're going to reach them. So if you are thinking, I want to make healthier meals for my family, get on Pinterest and start going one meal at a time. Like, we need healthier breakfasts. And make that a goal for the week. Write down the things you want to make and then add those things to your grocery list. Give yourself the time that it will take to prepare those or prepare them the night before, and have healthier breakfast for your family, and work on that until it becomes routine. And then work on healthier lunches, and so on and so forth. And guess what? You have moved further on in your career path as a mother. It can be about coming up with a better homeschooling routine. It can be about being more organized. It can be being more patient, being more present, being more joyful. I want you to be very intentional and very thoughtful about things that are important steps for your individual needs and the needs of your family in your personal career path as a mom. And all professionals are constantly looking at how they can develop more professionally. And this can be intellectual, like the things you read or learning new skills. It can be spiritual growth, like with reading the word more, doing more studies, listening to more teachings, having an older, wiser mentor to pour into you, to answer your questions, to give you guidance and some tough love when you really need it. You need to be thinking, how can I develop as a professional, as a human being, and how is that going to translate into a better home life? Let's say, for example, you're a homeschool mom, and obviously as your kids get older, they're going to move into harder grades. Every year, I think I've gotten a promotion. I have a child now who is in middle school, soon to be in high school. I have another child who is now learning how to read. So that's a big promotion. Managing those two and the grades in between, along with a toddler and a baby, that is a promotion. My responsibilities have grown as I have grown as a mother. I have more on my plate. I have more to manage, but I'm up to the task. I am good for it, and I'm going to do the job well. And it is good to think of yourself in that light, to give yourself the viewpoint of like, this is my career path. This is my profession. This is how I spend my days, and ultimately how I spend my life. I'm not going to shortchange my children. I'm not going to sit on the couch and think, woe is me. I'm going to wake up with intention every single day. I'm going to be a high achieving mom, and I'm going to put my family first. I'm going to give them the intentionality they deserve from me as a mom. And if I have to tell myself over and over, it's a career and I'm going to treat it as such, that's okay. Because it is. It's good to reframe the role and the calling of motherhood in a way that it triggers something in your brain where you think, I'm going to give it my best. You wouldn't show up to a job in your sweats, I assume, with a messy bun and a downcast expression and thinking, oh, I can't believe I have to do this again. I mean, you might. Some people might come to their job like that, but I don't think they're going to have that job for very long. I don't think they're going to grow very much. I don't think they're going to progress or get very many promotions. So just think, like, how do you really want to carry yourself? And that goes into my next point of modeling excellence for your children. We don't want to have our children see us as this defeatist who's like, well, this is all I can do, I guess, and just give up before the day is even over. Do you want to model excellence in doing the best in every single thing that's put in front of you? Or do you want to model doing the bare minimum? That's something we really need to ask ourselves, and then move forward with intention upon asking that question. Because it's very important to me that I model to my children that they matter to me and that my time with them matters to me, and that I'm not going to sleep on this opportunity, and that I take the roles that are put in front of me and the jobs and the tasks and the responsibilities that are put on me with a good attitude, and I'm going to do the best I can with all of them, because that teaches them to do the same thing when they move on in their life, to take their chores, their schooling, their relationships, everything with responsibility. Take ownership of it and put your best effort forth with the things that are in your life. This is your one and only life. Don't sleep on what you have in front of you. And a really important part about finding excellence and being a high achieving mom is to take care of yourself. You also have to be a high achiever in your own personal life. For me, like right now, that means getting back in shape after having my 6th baby. That is something I am being truly intentional with right now, with getting at least 8,000 steps in a day. I really want 10,000, but I'm aiming to move more. I'm aiming to lift more weights. I'm working on fueling my body to build muscle. So that is what is important to me, and it's important to me to model to my children not quitting, not giving up, and to be intentional with my time and how I block out my days. It's important to me that they see that living example of someone putting forth the effort on a daily, regular, consistent basis, and then seeing the fruits of it. And on top of that, I am always looking for books or podcasts that are healthy for my mind, that keep me in the right state of mind, that bathe my mind in truth. And I want my kids to see that too. Like, I choose to not listen to or consume a junk or garbage. I'm listening to or reading or consuming things that are good for my mind and my emotional health and well-being. Because we cannot escape this truth. We are the sum total of our inputs. What you listen to, what you watch, what you read, whom you hang around will inevitably have an impact in your life. I'm highly intentional with the podcasts I listen to, the books I read, the shows I watch, the friends I get close to, the people who are more than just acquaintances to me, but are like my inner circle. I'm very, very intentional with that. That's part of the whole consuming aspirational content thing. I look at women who are excelling in the career of motherhood, and that inspires me. I love consuming that kind of thing and thinking of other areas that I can improve in my life. And the same goes with my friends. They are people who are inspirational to me, who encourage me, who motivate me, because I love growing. I love progressing. As a high achieving person, I like moving on to the next step, the next level. And I think that that's a way we can hold on to more joy in motherhood, is to continually look for ways to grow. Look for other areas we can improve on, so it doesn't feel stagnant. It doesn't feel like it's hard to get bored in motherhood when you're constantly looking for a way to progress, or you're looking for the next promotion. I know there's been a lot of noise in the background today, but that's because we are dealing with real life motherhood and 6 children moving about, doing their thing. Okay, friends, that is all for today's video. I so appreciate you taking time out of your day to watch it. I hope that it was encouraging to you and inspiring, and I'm so grateful to be able to connect with you ladies online, and I wish you all the best in your motherhood endeavors. Bye, friends.